welcome to Bharat Trailblazers in association with CNBC-TV18.com, a series of industry dialogues with companies across sectors to decode and analyze the impact of digital transformation and understand how companies are leveraging technology to pivot to growth. Today, our focus is on the MEP sector. We're in conversation with Himay Shah, ED and CEO of a leading MEP service provider of the country, ListenLights Private Limited. Let's find out more. Himay, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you
very
for having me here.
Very briefly, tell us a bit about the MEP sector. How competitive is it in India and what sets ListenLights apart? What is unique about your story?
So, MEP as a sector is fragmented. It forms the basic core of the construction sector. So, the construction sector is divided into two pieces. There is civil, core and shell, and then MEP. So, construction in general in India has been fragmented and chaotic. What sets ListenLights apart is the philosophy that is at the core of the company, which we call as SOCH, that is embedded to improve the lives holistically of people and our ecosystem. Purpose-driven philosophy is what we call as SOCH. Second would be the ability for us to work towards business sustainability as part of our capability building and not just focus on generating revenue for the sake of generating revenue. So, capability building with an eye of having sustainable growth is what sets us apart.
So, you've been in business, or the company has been in business for about 40 years. It was, I think, started in 1983.
Yes.
So, over the last 4 decades, you've seen technology technology transform the entire industry. Walk us through that journey.
The last 40 years, the organization was started by my father, Mr. Himay Shah, back in 1983. He's seen a gamut of changes across these 4 decades. What ListenLights has strived by keeping in motion with the technological advancements is that we have always tried to attach technology as part of our enablement. We use SAP as our ERP tool and also Salesforce as our CRM as well as a project management tool. So, all in all, what ListenLights' endeavor is to get attached to these giants of technology companies, which will help us to scale along with their technology offerings.
What has been the biggest challenge that you face, and how has this digital transformation enabled the company?
So, I understand technology transformation in 3 aspects, and that is digitization, digitalization, and then digital transformation.
Okay.
At the focal core of this transformation are the people, then the process, and then the technology. If these 3 get amalgamated, then you achieve total transformation and what we call as digital transformation. What we have tried to achieve with Salesforce as a platform and as a tool within ListenLights is our path towards digital transformation. Processes that used to take long drawn hours, long drawn days, now have been streamlined and have been squeezed to probably hours.
So, Himay, ListenLights has effectively used CRM for your project management lifecycle. Tell us about the processes that you've automated and the key benefits that you've experienced because of this.
So, when we started the journey of actually transforming ListenLights, we wrote down total company processes, and there are probably 600 of them, out of which 104 processes were broken down and they were customer-facing project management lifecycle processes. So, we then decided that if we have to achieve customer success, all customer touch points that are actually part of our project management lifecycle. We spend the maximum time with our customers on the project, not doing sales. We spend maximum time during the project lifecycle. So, it was important that we use the CRM tool in order to achieve that customer touch points during the project management lifecycle, and that is why we are using a CRM tool like Salesforce for project management. So, those 104 processes then were digitized one by one, and that is where Salesforce's technical architecture services team came into picture by actually making the entire organizational architecture of Salesforce around that. With that, we have been able to actually digitize the processes at the start from sales, converting the sale to actually getting into procurement, to delivering the material, the goods on the site, erection, actually monitoring safety, generating live reports, and then ending the project by customer feedback. The entire chain of 104 processes entails the project from start to finish. And this particular standardization of processes across the cities that we operate has helped us achieve the scale that we have achieved.
Could you also tell us the key benefits, if you could summarize the key benefits that ListenLights has seen because of this entire digital transformation journey?
Yeah. So I would cite two internal and two external benefits or metrics that has helped ListenLights. Number one, 1.3% of revenue was added to our bottom line just because we started tracking our pilferages through the system. And the calculations, the quantifications, etc., were done through the system. And that helped us a lot. It continues to help us. The second advantage that we have received internally is the invoice processing used to take 14 days from the site, from the project site to the accounts. By digitizing that entire process of approval hierarchy of the stakeholders that need to actually go through that approval process, we have brought down that scale from 14 days to 2 hours. So imagine the time saved in the entire chain of stakeholders. To external, we have grown our customer base from probably 300, 400 to probably 2,500 using the system. Also, customer base which are actually working with us, who are not the customers as a database, but who are working with us, we have grown our customer base who are working with us 20% year on year using the system.
What next in terms of a vision, and how will technology help you?
So, whenever we have thought about technology as an enabler, we have kept sustainability of the organization at its core. That why do we need to embrace technology? And that is to achieve sustainability. We are using Salesforce in a very different way. Probably the only use case that is available with Salesforce, and that is digitizing the entire project management lifecycle. So when we have used Salesforce as a platform, any service that passes through the platform should be delivered in the ListenLights way. That's the vision. And that's how, if we operate probably in India or in APAC in the future, however we are delivering our services should be delivered in the ListenLights way. The platform helps us achieve that. We also are planning to integrate more services onto our platform and probably give one-stop solution in the future that includes civil and be a general contractor in the future.
So give me three reasons, three benefits of this partnership with Salesforce, if you have to summarize it.
So when we started our journey, we were lost, honestly. And I think Salesforce thrives in that domain, is when a customer is lost as to what my ideal solution is. So when we approached Salesforce, they said the professional services probably are not for SMEs, but your use case is very different. We can tailor our professional services to achieve your targets, your goals, your vision. So the first thing was their ability to convince us, yes, that Salesforce is the right solution for you, okay? And that convincing power as consulting and advisory is massive. It's not just advice and then move away. So that is one portion of Salesforce. Second, their technical services giving ability, that is to build the entire architecture becoming the bedrock of the system so that we can scale on that. We have achieved a growth of 13x in the last 6 financial years.
Wow.
Yes. And because of this particular bedrock of technology that is sorted, and that was through Salesforce. The third thing, their approachability. extremely approachable people at Salesforce. Whenever we come out with a problem, whenever we are now talking about expanding to APAC, they're ready. They're ready with a solution.
This has been a great conversation, but before we wrap up, what would your advice be, or what would your key learnings be from this entire journey?
Okay. So, the first learning is keep people as part of your decision making. Unless that core purpose is set at the center and the heart of the organization and everything else can revolve around it, you will be able to achieve your goal. Second, customers are bedrock of why you survive as an organization. And that is why, to understand their requirements and tailoring our solution in order to address those requirements. If we can alleviate their worries or concerns in a way with a humane touch, in that technology plays a big role. Okay. If we can achieve that, we will achieve success. And third, as I said at the start, keeping sustainability and capability building as your long-term goal. Growth is a byproduct of sustainability and capability building. So if you keep that long-term view of sustainability, growth is inevitable. So these are my three key giveaways, if at all. Yeah.
Fantastic conversation. Thank you very much, Himay, for joining in, and wish you the same kind of success, a 13x return growth in the last 6 years. May that continue in the future as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.